Welcome to this Money Monday edition of Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm John Tobacco. We're coming today live from the downtown Liquid Lunch Outpost Studios in Lower Manhattan on Broadway. And the big story today, a little bit of relief and comfort for the markets. Dow up 780 points as we speak, shedding almost all the year's gains just last week on fear, fright, and hysteria from the coronavirus. But it looks like today the markets are a little more controlled. The buying has come back in and up significantly today. We'll keep you posted on all that stuff. Bitcoin also up about 300 at 8,800, which is a good sign for people who have a diversified portfolio. But on the markets, if you remember last week, I told you, maybe you want to keep some on hand in case there are some value buys. They may still be out there. You may want to take a look at what happened last week when I spoke to you about I showed you this chart, and I told you that below 26,000 could be some very bad news for all the markets. We dropped pretty darn close there, but we didn't get there, and that's good news. It looks like the market may have bounced. There's a significant buying opportunity in a lot of names that got the heck beat out of them of late. So we'll get into breaking all that down and more. We'll talk about what's happening with just the fear, fright, and hysteria and the anxiety of what's happening with this coronavirus. One death reported in Washington. One case of coronavirus reported here in New York. But it appears that the president's appointment of Mike Pence, and back in January, he put together a task force to look at the coronavirus. Despite some noise from the left last week, it looks like people feel pretty comfortable that here in America, it's not that big of a threat, and the Dow seems to be reflecting that this morning, which is really good news. Other news over the weekend on the political front, the field is being winnowed quickly now, and all the newspapers on Sunday were saying he's back, Joe to the lead, blah, blah. It's not that big of a shocker, or it shouldn't be, that Joe Biden won in South Carolina. We've only been being told for the last couple months that South Carolina is his firewall. That's where it begins for him. And you got two of these kooky caucus processes out there where Iowa's a little weird, not a tremendous amount of minority voters, and then New Hampshire's usually a good bellwether to keep it moving. And then the Nevada caucus, again, is a little quirky, and Bernie had a ground game there going back from 4 years ago. So Bernie was making a lot of noise talking about we are the first group to win Iowa and win New Hampshire and win Nevada. In just one fell swoop, Joe Biden has surged into the lead in the popular vote, and now going into Super Tuesday tomorrow, he's just, I believe, 6 or 7 delegates behind Bernie. So the race is on, and as I've been saying for quite some time, all these pretenders one by one are going to drop out. And, of course, Tom Steyer, I guess he can't take being a zero anymore, but we did have a decent turnout in South Carolina, got about 12% of the vote. Didn't hit the 15% threshold to get any delegates, so I believe Steyer spent about $27 million in the state of South Carolina, and he wound up with a big fat goose egg. So Tom Steyer finally out of the race. He was kind of like a, he was kind of like a no known quantity as a candidate, but he just kept paying to keep himself in there. And the other guy who came out of the box, he was the flavor of the day just a month ago, Mayor Pete Buttigieg, took the stage this weekend on Sunday, and he told his supporters that he was going to be suspending his campaign. He's going to be dropping out of the campaign, but he's going to do all he can do to keep Donald Trump, to get Donald Trump out of the White House. Little by little, folks, it's really just starting to come down to what I said from the beginning, the party of diversity. In the 2018 midterm elections, they were talking about how they elected the most minorities and the most women freshmen and all this other stuff. At the end of all days, it's going to come down to two 70-year-old white guys, Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden. And, I give Mayor Pete this. He ran a classy campaign. He went at it. He fought it out. Let's take a look at what he said to his supporters when he told them he was finito.
It's about people, and that is especially true of the people who touch this campaign. To my competitors in a historically diverse field, those who have stepped aside and those still competing, thank you for demonstrating what public service can be. To the people of South Bend, this river city we love so much, thank you for keeping me honest and thank you for keeping me going.
A fitting end. He was only a mayor, and I think the next one to go will be Elizabeth Warren or Amy Klobuchar. One of them will probably be gone, probably both, pretty soon. And if Mike Bloomberg doesn't really shine tomorrow, he's just going to be a drag on Joe Biden. And I think the establishment may come to him and either ask him to get out or be the vice president. Who knows? But it looks like it's shaping up for a Bernie Biden brawl. And you know, Joe Biden now is saying he's back, he's on his game, he's ready to go, he hit his stride, now he's going for it. Goes on Fox News, and apparently he hasn't been on Fox News in 13 years, but he goes on with Chris Wallace. And you know this guy Chris Wallace over at Fox News, he's turning left hard, really hard. And he's not been so tremendously favorable to the president. He's been downright rough on the president. And I guess he had Joe Biden on to give him a little moment with the, independent or conservative voters. And Joe still just can't seem to keep it together on a lot of fronts.
Mr. Vice President, thank you. Thanks for your time. Please come back in less than 13 years, sir.
All right, Chuck. Thank you very much.
All right. It's Chris, but anyway.
Chris. I just did Chris. No, I just did Chuck. I tell you what, man, these are back-to-back. Anyway.
No, it's okay.
I don't know how you do it early in the morning, too.
Safe travels on the campaign trail. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Up next.
Thank you, Chuck. Chris? No, I'm Chris. Oh. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I just did Chuck. I thought you were Chuck. You're actually Chris Wallace. My bad. The thing that may have slipped by there that you didn't see, he said, I don't know how you guys do it in the morning. And this is like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning show, depending on where you are in the country. But he said, I don't know how you guys do it in the morning. Say what you want about Donald Trump's tweets. This guy is tweeting at like 5 in the morning. Okay, this guy's up early, and he's working early and often for America. Joe Biden said, I don't know how you do this in the morning. It sounds like, he may not be capable of remembering people's names going forward, and he may not want to get up too early in the morning because he's getting up there in age. So be careful with that. With the farewells to Mayor Buttigieg and Tom Steyer, a fond farewell to one of my and all of America's TV favorites. Judge Judy announced her retirement from television. You may not know this, but she is the highest paid person on television, on all of television. And after 25 years of seeing over that television courtroom, Judge Judy has called it a day, and it looks like they're going to call court to order for the last time. And happy trails and a fond farewell to Jack Welch, former chairman of GE, passed this weekend with his family at his side. He was 84 years old, led GE through a tremendous growth period. I think they went from 12 billion to 400 billion in market cap over the time that he was the head man over there. And no, he was known for chopping out jobs and stuff like that. But Jack Welch, American icon, passed on to greener pastures at 84 years old. If you're nervous still about the coronavirus, which you shouldn't be, you keep yourself up to date with your dual action wipes. You have your Corona beer every day. But if you're getting any anxiety about that, stay calm. Dr. John Huber will be here a little while. He's a psychologist and chairman of Mainstream Mental Health. He'll be talking to you about all the things you need to know to keep your head straight so you can be efficient and productive. And Lauren Conlon's going to be here a little later on. She's the host of the Red Carpet Rendezvous podcast. And if you're trapped at home or quarantined and you want to know what to watch, there's so much to watch. Of course, you should be watching Newsmax TV, the fastest growing cable network in America, going to 70 million homes. But Lauren will be here to tell you about all the things that are hot on demand. And Fernando Uribe will be here to kick off hour 2. He's a PhD and the host of Politically Direct on Insider NJ. He's a faculty member at Bergen Community College. Vera Gibbons is going to be here from Non-Political News. And Jordan Gelber will be here. She is the founder and CEO of Star Baby Enterprises. Whopper of a show today. Unbelievable Money Monday. We'll be talking about your portfolio and everything that's going on with the global markets right now. I got a few ideas that I'm going to throw out there today. Hopefully they'll get to the president on how we could really stimulate this economy if we do have a little bit of a slowdown here. But we're going to get into all that and more a little later in the show. We're going to take a quick break right now. We're going to come back next and mix it up. Democrat, Republican, right here on set with me, Josh Kravitz.